I'm Laura Heigl with Century 21 Sheets, your key to the finest homes. I'm hanging out with...
I'm Jordan Reichmann. I'm with Milestone Home Lending, hanging out with Laura.
So to do something a little different, we're shopping today.
All right.
So we're in this really cute shop called 530 Home on Main Street in downtown Zionsville. You can take some classes here, you can paint some furniture.
I teach you how to paint, it looks like back here.
It looks like it. They've got colors, they've got all kinds of things, because it would be a great place for a gift.
Yeah,
they do a lot of things with holidays too.
Unique.
Yeah.
So.
Your wife should be with us.
Yeah.
Your wife should be with me.
Yeah, I shouldn't be here.
And my husband
your
should not
card, right?
be here. Right, exactly. But we're going to talk about money
All
today.
right, my favorite topic.
And I think that interest rates are kind of going up.
They are.
All right, so what's happening with that? What do we think?
Fortunately, the economy is doing well, big picture. So
Okay.
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
For, almost everyone. But one person it's not necessarily good for is the homeowner who's getting ready to buy a house. Interest rates are creeping up. Where 6 months ago they were about 4.5%-ish. Now they're in the low fives.
And it could depend on your credit.
It depends on your credit,
like
your loan program, and yeah, definitely things like that.
And what is supposed to happen?
So what is supposed to happen? I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that, but I know, otherwise I wouldn't be here till I'd be winning the lottery. But the Fed plans to raise the interest rate 3 more times next year.
Okay.
Which in turn means higher interest rates for the consumer.
So one of the things I know is this means if the interest rate goes up, unless your income goes up too, which doesn't always happen for people, it impacts your buying power.
Absolutely.
So you cannot buy as much.
Exactly.
But give me that in dollars, Jordan.
Yes, exactly. So I'm looking at several things when I'm working with a homeowner, but one of the big things is your debt to income ratio. You really want to be in the low 40s or below if possible. There are some cases where we can go a little higher, but what that means in terms of dollars is
low 40s, 40%?
40%, I'm sorry, your debt to income ratio. Thank you.
Okay.
In terms of dollars, though, what that interest rate increase means is I ran some quick numbers before we came here. On a principal and interest only payment, 6 months ago, on a $300,000 loan, you'd be looking at about $963 a month. Today, that same loan, you're looking at about $1,020.
So you went up $60.
$60.
So
in 6 months.
6 months cost you $60
$60
a
per
month
for 360 months.
All right.
So,
and we know 2 more times it's supposed to go up this year.
Yeah, 3 times next
3
year.
times.
Yes.
So in 2019.
It's going to keep going up.
All right. So that would tell me that now is probably a good time to buy a house.
Sooner than later. People, as they go up, like you said, your buying power goes down, just in terms of what you qualify for and also what you're comfortable with. A lot of people, I want my payment to be here. As the interest rates go up, that means a lower purchase price. So to get your payment where you're comfortable.
All right. So the other thing I want to talk about is how to get a loan. And guys, we could spend an hour at this, but you're not going to watch us on video for an hour. So we promise we won't. But you should anticipate when you come to meet with Jordan and have a good conversation about money, to be prepared to spend some time digging into it.
Exactly. So the first thing I do is I just have a quick conversation with them, kind of get the details. Part 2, though, is you sending me a bunch of documents. And those documents are going to be W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, a picture of your driver's license, so that I can validate everything you've told me. We don't go on people's word anymore, unfortunately.
It doesn't work that way to borrow money.
But the biggest thing, so we can verify all that stuff with paperwork. One of the things I think you've run into, and I know I've run into, is something I can't verify right away. Maybe it's a verification of rent, which we don't need in all cases, but people need to be transparent when you're trying to get a home. We're loaning out a lot of money. We're going to do a lot of research. I may not have it on day one, but a lot of times, if you get 3 weeks into the loan process, and all of a sudden I get a verification of rent that shows that you paid rent late 3 months in a row.
So guys, yes, it is a problem. And I had a deal last spring. You were not the lender, so this is not your fault. But buyers thought they were good to go. They had a pre-approval. We started the process. They made loan application, the appraisal was done, the inspection was done. So they spent about $1,000 to get those things done.
Yep.
And as we're rolling along, all of a sudden they needed a verification of rent. And when that was pulled, they had late payments in their rent, which is a big deal.
It's a very big deal because we want to see that you can pay your credit, but also your house. You have a housing payment history, so
Right.
a verification of rent is a big deal.
So here's what happened. They got a loan denial. So they didn't buy the house. They had to stay in the apartment, but they had spent $1,000 that they did not get back.
It's an expensive piece of paper.
It is. And I don't like to lose $1,000.
No,
How about you?
No, I hate.
So here's one of the things, and I can't stress this enough. When you come and sit down with Jordan, and before you pick out that house that just makes your heart beat a little
Can't wait to
faster.
get into, pick out bedrooms, yeah.
But to be completely transparent about anything you know that has gone on.
Absolutely. And we can work through almost anything. It doesn't happen overnight, but we can work through, I'm very familiar with credit. I look at a lot of credit reports. I can help guide you if we're not ready now to buy a house, but you have to let us know those issues up front so that.
And then you have to be committed to fixing it too.
Exactly. Yep.
So I've done this for 15 years, and I have memories of various things that have gone on. And one of my favorite times was with a family trying to buy a home. And when the lender first pulled their credit, it was a hot mess. There was just no way. And they didn't understand how to fix it, but they were committed to fixing it. And that's a big piece. And so they got their hand held by a lender that took care of them. It took 2 years, Jordan, because it was not an overnight thing.
Right.
But we went to the closing table, and they bought a house, and I saw them get a key.
Yeah.
And I watched these two adults, and the man was this great big guy, burst into tears.
Oh.
Because they were the first ones in their family, the first generation. Their parents had not owned homes, and their grandparents had not owned homes, and they were the first to do that. And it was really special.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
Getting to be a part of it, but it didn't happen overnight. And that's the big piece. It took 2 years for them to be ready to do that.
And that's the key. You said it. That's the key. You have to be patient and willing. I talk to so many people that maybe it's an easy fix, maybe it's not, but who are just like, okay, that sounds good. And then I never hear from them again, and I follow up with them and nothing. And then I talk to others where maybe it's a 2-year process, and they check in with me every month. All right, here's what I did.
Is this okay?
What now?
What
yeah,
now?
Exactly. So
you can get some help. They can give you a call.
Give me a call, 317-345-1717. I'm a pretty friendly guy.
Most of the time.
And most of the time. It doesn't cost you anything. We can take a look at your credit. If you're ready, great. We can get you pre-approved and start looking. If you're not ready, we can at least get you familiar with where you are and where you need to go to be ready.
So we know that there are things that we can change, there are things we can't change. I can't change the fact that the interest rates are going up.
Right.
You can't change that either. We'd like to, but that part is going to happen anyway. So if you're ready to buy a home, I'd start thinking about doing that sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
Before that rate goes up on you. But then the next piece is, if you're not ready today, the sooner you start getting ready, the better it will be.
Absolutely.
And then you have options.
And you know where you stand at least.
Exactly.
It doesn't cost a thing.
Interest rates, getting a pre-approval, working on your money, all of those pieces, they're going to give you a call.
Give me a call, 317-345-1717. And then once we get you all ready, you can call Laura back.
I get the fun part. I get to shop with you. So thanks for watching today. I think these things are really important parts of buying a home, because if you don't have the money, you don't get to buy. So thanks for watching. I'm Laura Heigl with Century 21 Sheets, your key to the finest homes.
I'm Jordan Reichmann with Milestone Home Lending. Thanks for joining us.